Welcome back. I was waiting for the music to kick on, and then I realized the music isn't on, therefore it's never going to kick on. Okay. Today we are going to put in the second part of our power tower for our drone tower. Some of that made sense, don't worry. So we're going to update 3 bauxite miners as kind of a last thought on our light metals factory. And then we're going to put in this rocket tower BP, which we're doing right now. We're going to build that tower, add some drone ports, and connect the fuel and tanks. But first, let's get this power tower going. Gotta see if we can get this in a relatively good place. I think I'm going to leave a center tube here for moving things up. And I suppose down, but moving things up is really what I'm thinking about. And I know one of the things I get criticized for is having too many power batteries. I like it. When you're making videos, you go for weeks, sometimes months between making power supplies. And sometimes you find out you're running out of power when you're almost out of power. So if I didn't have huge power banks, I'd have issues. You don't want me to have issues. Do a vertical zoop here. Then we'll put the glass foundation in. Huh. Why is this pushed over? Oh, it's not pushed over far enough. Alright, we can fix that. We just have to put that in and put this back in. Then lock it, then nudge it. Then delete this one, then put this one back in, and then see this one goes all the way across. Now, trying to find perfect middle for each one of these is going to be a little more difficult, though not impossible. These rotated. I think I'm just going to try to keep the same rotation. Finally ran out of wire. All right. That's a pretty good stash of batteries. Now we gotta light them up. Do I have a light pole already in place? I thought I did. Now connecting all these batteries is going to be a different problem. No, I think I'll just connect them all to each other, and then the last one will connect to the pole. That's the way to do it. There we go. Not perfect, but we got it done. Just want to check and make sure they're all connected. For whatever reason, I made that first attempt a lot more complicated than it needed to be. Yeah, and they both have 4, which is plenty of opportunities for future connections. And then I think we'll make these all copper goodness. Okay. Let's give this a shot. I think we're pretty good on this. Blank. No, we want to call this the power rocket fuel tower. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and declare that, well, maybe I do want to have 2 different colors. Wait a minute. No, I can decide those. I can decide that later. I don't need to do anything here. I was thinking I could save myself some connection time, but it's all pretty much done. So now we're good on the power tower blueprint. Let me save one more time. Let's jump over to the bauxite miners and check in with our light metals factory. I really need to move that hyper cannon. So if I check out over here, well, the whole thing is kind of locked down. Well, there's still room for bauxite currently. Very little bauxite is actually making its way in. But everything is full right now because we're not using anything. We're not using the scrap, we're not using the casings, we're not using the... Well, we are using the silica. But we can't use it because we're not using these other things. Yeah, full casings, full scrap, and we need some silica. So in the meantime, though, we are going to improve our bauxite input. Should be relatively easy for us to make this change. They gave us the overclock shards back. So now that one is 600. That's massive. 1,200. Whoa. We're going to get some shards back. $300. 780 is our max. 600 there. 720 there. It's probably not worth another shard just to upgrade that a little bit. But now we're shipping in a ton more bauxite, so we'll mark that off our list. Once we start pulling the fluid tanks out of this thing, we'll start using some of that aluminum. And then we can see if we probably have too much bauxite, but honestly, if we have too much bauxite, that's fine. There's really no ramifications for too much bauxite. None that we actually care about anyway. Okay, so it looks like it's one foundation, one foundation, one foundation. And that's the expectation of as far as where the next tower should go. So basically 2 foundations away. And then another one. Now, let's get this. I'm going to try to build this from the top down. If something like this is even possible. The required guide on this is ridiculous. Well, actually, I want this. Oh man, we don't even have enough wire to build this. Maybe building it from the top isn't the right way to go. Let's start from the bottom. So right here is where we want to start. Or right on this corner. This is definitely one of those things you want to get right. So it's the middle here, then here, and then the building, right? Because it's in the middle here, then the building. So we actually want to start here. We've got a blank one. Kind of thinking I need to delete some of these. At least get the placement in. Of course, if I do put it there, ooh, that's not going to be good. How much of this am I looking to replace? I should probably start up here just to make this something that we can actually think through. And then we'll make all of this other part kind of a lower level asymmetrical something or other, where we'll decide what part of this we want to keep and what part of it we're going to chop. So if that's the center... Doesn't look like the center though, does it? Oh, but it is. +1. +1. So we're targeting here. We're still short on wire. Oh, I should have left some stuff behind. Now I'm going to have to leave some stuff behind here. How many of those do you think we're going to need? That's 5 total, so we only need 4. Oh my goodness. 22,000 wire. 600 ornaments. 2,000 modular frames. This is a much bigger build than I was planning on. You know what? Let me skip that. We'll have to come back for this because that's way bigger than I was planning on. We'll just build the top first. We'll get the drones flying around a little bit. building that secondary power tower is going to be... That's an ordeal. 2,200 modular frames. Those are... The reason why I'm sort of going on about that is because they stack at a rate of 50. So 2,200, that's 44 stacks. Oops. I wouldn't mind getting that Mercer Sphere. It looks like the map reset on us again. Lots of Mercer Spheres, lots of Summer Sloop. That's okay. When you're building a project, you just have to be agile. Sorry, sometimes I forget I have my chainsaw in my hand. Alright. Let's see here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, then 5. Okay, that's the general placement of the other tower. And then we'll put in maybe a little bit of wall here just to sort of reach the height. Like so. And then I think some... I've been dreaming about putting in some... But maybe I should clear this. And then we'll put in some inverted ramp. So at the very least, maybe 1 or 2 more. Something like that. Yeah, it's a good reminder we don't have any power over on this side yet. That might be too many. I think 2 is probably enough. 1 might be enough, really. Yeah, I think 2's enough. Well, maybe 2 isn't enough. Ah, 3. Let's go with 3. Four is definitely too many. And then we'll put in a few drone ports right on the edge, just to like double put it on the edge. Yeah, this is a horrible accident waiting to happen. I'm questioning whether or not this is centered sufficiently. Let's get some more power over here for us to deal with. So that is the last one, and this is the first one, and we've got one extra. So I could give ourselves one space here. And then we'll just put you on this side. And we'll just put you on this side. Oh, it's technically a little too close. Let's back these off a bit. This is kind of a supply deck, but I don't even know. Yeah, we still need to get power over here. I guess technically we don't need another... Well, we probably need to move this upstairs, right? Probably aren't going to launch from there. Okay. Gotta think for a second. I guess all four of these need to have full access to... So we can make all of these import-export and... Well, no. Launch fuel, launch fuel, launch fuel, bring back empties. Kind of going back and forth on how to do this. All right, that's everybody getting fueled. Let's see if we can pull a... It's nice to see that cave over there fully lit. I might regret doing this in the future. Where is this on the 5x5 though? Now, who has the... Right, we have our rocket fuel here. Can't really directly connect. I guess we'll just come in over here. And we'll just drop this. So, I probably want to keep this more on the high side. Oh man. It's that far, too far away. Now we'll have it about where we want it. Perfect. Except I did all that so we could do it with straight line. I like the idea of being able to see the fuel. And this is a classic service layer, so we can just run this. So all the drones that come here will at least have rocket fuel. Kind of forgot about that. But we can put a splitter on here. Do a little double back. This is actually a lot. This is probably too many dedicated to fuel export. I think 2 is probably enough to start. I imagine that as the rocket fuel starts to permeate the rest of the factory, that drones will have trouble unloading, and we can share multiple drone ports here for the loading side of things. Let's drop a drone on here. Export from here to fuel import there. Well, actually, technically I did that wrong. Sorry, drone. And we'll say this is the rocket tower tank import. Fluid tank import, to be precise. Let's go over to the aluminum area. And we've got to make some room in our inventory. It's just better to set these up over here. That way the drone ports that are exporting don't get clogged up as easily with drones waiting. But if this one gets clogged up because it's got too much fuel, then that's fine. It's just fine. So we're just going to build it from this side. All right, so now we've got the empties that are made here, not because we're taking the gas out of the ones that we're using, but because we're making fluid tanks here, using this fluid tank factory line here. The items that are being stored underneath here and being supplied rapidly as we speak. So now we're delivering empties and taking away full.
I don't know. Have a good day.
I see the drones already beat me there. Ooh, we could overshoot that and that would be bad news. All right, so tank import. Output the tanks here. We'll do an infinity drop to here. Now, where we got to import the empties. Did I already set up a little something for that? What have I done here? Ah, this looks to be where I... Wait a minute. What have I done here? What is this supposed to be? Oh, the place where we were gonna put the empties. But why would I do that? This side doesn't need empties. Yeah, I was really stuck on... Oh, okay. I remember now. I was going back and forth about where the... Yeah, this is an empty tank. I labeled it at least. But now I don't think I need this. Yeah, we don't need any of this. Or this. Or this. This can go. And the empties come in. The rocket fuel gets packaged. The packaged rocket fuel gets sent back up. This will be a super cool tower. Will also be the place where we export like byproducts like rubber and extra things like that that we find that we want to import or export. But for right now, we are filling up our rocket fuel exporter. This guy is returned. And we should have another drone on its way back, ready to deliver some empty fluid tanks. And it got back just before it emptied out all the way. Of course, that's with me delaying the connection. I just want to add a little bit of buffer here. So if for whatever reason we end up with extra, as soon as the factory kicks back on, we're ready to go. So there you go. Rocket fuel in, empties out. Rocket fuel out, empties in. Perfect. Plus, we're also in a place where we can ship rocket fuel out to multiple other locations. I might leave this one, rocket fuel export prime. As the prime location. And then the secondary one, we'll leave this to be the beta location. And we'll mostly connect any little outposts to this beta location. And we'll leave this one open just so we're clear that, hey, this one's one that is running the factory. If this one breaks down or gets clogged up, the whole factory is going to come tumbling down. And then over here, we can export things like, we know we've got that chunk of rubber over there that we need to deal with. And we also want to export nitrogen gas. We've got that as an option. I'll have to decide if I want that nitrogen gas to be its own loop or if we can have the empties share. That's an interesting problem. But that's a problem we'll have to figure out in the next episode. Short episode today, and we'll have to come back once we've planned out all of the resources for the power tower to complete the secondary tower. We'll see you next time.